All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. My name is Hunter Willis, and this is the July feature episode where we touch on what's new and what's coming with Apptio's products. So thanks again for tuning in. We'll go ahead and dive right into it. This month, we're going to be touching on what's new with Apptio 1, Cloudability, and Target Process as usual. And we have a great conversation this month with Nathan Besh. So we really dive into the details of Cloudability's new Rightsizing Explorer, how it works and what it is, and how it helps our customers extract more value, especially from their right-sizing recommendations in Cloudability. So we'll touch on that here in a lot of detail in just a minute or two, but I'm going to go ahead and dive into these product updates. So for Apptio 1 and Apptio BI, we have our measure picker. So this is a new feature in Apptio BI that allows users to increase the interactivity, accessibility, and allow report owners to define alternate dimensions and metrics for visualizations which viewers can access. So basically, it allows the people that create the reports to enable some flexibility for how the end user that needs to see the report itself can interact with it and surface the information, right? So they have some ability to modify that visualization by selecting from the measure picker, helping them customize that visualization to fit their needs without needing full editing privileges. And this adds a great deal of flexibility to the dashboards that you can surface in Apptio BI, and also provides a better way for people to get insights and understand the things they need out of the solution, which is great. Other updates to be aware of, a few new out-of-the-box reports coming to Apptio BI, and a few other reports basically enhancing that interactive component, as well as in CT and BI. So for Apptio 1, you're going to be able to drill into selected time periods in the CT information in Apptio BI. On the horizon, a few more features for filtering within Apptio BI, as well as visualization groupings are coming. So we'll touch on that as those are released here in the not too distant future. For Cloudability, we have the Rightsizing Explorer, which is providing a familiar and intuitive interface. So it's enhancing accessibility as well for organizations to more easily digest their AWS, Azure, and GCP rightsizing recommendations within Cloudability, right? So it allows grouping and filtering of the recommendations. We're going to dive into this in further details, and I'm also going to surface a screenshot for you here in just a few minutes that you'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about, but it really helps organizations to develop and execute on strategies for actually utilizing rightsizing recommendations, and then also with those strategies help them avoid future waste via Cloudability. Other updates, we have the Azure cost list data that's now available to surface, so you can compare, your actual the actual charges that you're getting from Azure along against the actual cost list, right? The retail prices, if you will, that are coming out of Azure, so you can essentially see how much that you're saving right within the solution from the dashboards. And for target process, we have validation rules. We did touch on this on our earlier episode, but we wanted to highlight this again because it's a really big deal, the amount of control that and basically ensuring that users are doing the right things within the platform and creating essentially guideline rules for users to have to go through certain steps in order to complete different tasks. And have them be considered completed within target process, and that comes along again with the ability to surface essentially the reasons why, right? If somebody's going outside the bounds, or if somebody hasn't completed certain steps, you can surface the reason why within the solution, right? So that little message will pop up and say, hey, you need to do X, Y, or Z, or hey, because you don't have the authorization to complete a task, you're not going to be able to. There's also integration to automated data management within Apptio 1, right? So further joining these solutions within the platform together, where Target Process and Apptio 1 are going to be able to essentially cross-communicate data on the back end. So without further ado, I'm excited to jump into this conversation with Nathan Besh. He is Senior Director of Product Management and Technical Evangelism here at Apptio, but he also runs FinOps Fridays. So we're going to talk about the Rightsizing Explorer. Let's go ahead and jump into that conversation now. All right, so today we have Nate Besh on the line with us this month talking about the Cloudability Rightsizing Explorer. Nate, tell us a little bit about what you do at Apptio here, and then let's dive into the Rightsizing Explorer, what it is and the value it brings to our customers.
Yeah, so technically my job title is product manager and technical evangelist. World's greatest job title. The evangelist component, there's obviously a lot of education. You get to educate people around things like FinOps, cloud financial management, best practices in terms of the area. I also get to talk about all the problems, but then it's also my job as a product manager to solve these problems for customers. So it's quite a good combination. So I work primarily on the Cloudability product, looking at the features and developing that product. Prior to this, I worked at AWS for about 7-8 years. So yeah, been in the FinOps space for quite some time.
That's great. And you also do FinOps Fridays, which we talk about sometimes here. So great. And, people check that out in the LinkedIn feed here, as well as through Apptio's social media and on YouTube, if you haven't had a chance to do that. So we've talked a lot about here in the past couple of months about all the great right-sizing and, optimization features that have been coming to Cloudability. So talk to us about what is the Rightsizing Explorer, this new feature, and what's the value that it brings to the customers, the people that are using Cloudability for their optimization?
Yeah, so when we look at large customers at the moment now, it's sort of look at the problems that they've had with their billing. The billing files are huge. How do we process them? How do we get insights? How do we understand what is going on? Customers now are at the same sort of size and scale with their right-sizing recommendations as they have been with their billing. So the number of recommendations they get, we see customers with tens of thousands of recommendations.
Yeah,
you can't look at those one by one exactly the same way you can't look at your billing file line by line and actually get anywhere. So, we've got great proprietary algorithms and Cloudability to make smart recommendations and different types of recommendations depending upon the risk. What we're now trying to do is, you've got so many recommendations, people aren't going to click through to the 4,000th page to look at those, and it's really low value to do that. So how do we make these accessible? How do we allow customers to explore and navigate these recommendations so they can really understand, where should I focus? Where do I have problems? Not go through each and every recommendation one by one. So it's really starting to open up, I guess, more of the overarching practice of FinOps. Answer the big questions and the business questions. Where do I have problems? Which team needs help? But also, which team is successful, so I can allocate resources in my business and start to prioritize and focus where I need to overcome this right-sizing challenge and really understand the size, the scope of the right-sizing challenge. Where am I getting it right and wrong? How much resources do I need to devote to it? Am I good? Do I need to get better? We can now answer these questions with Rightsizing Explorer because customers can navigate them. It really just makes it also very accessible. The interface is the same as TrueCost Explorer. So anyone, not just technical FinOps people or engineers, your finance team can see what's going on, your management can see what's going on. It really makes these things very accessible and easy to use.
Yeah, and that's true, right? Because the TrueCost Explorer, it does. It makes it so much easier to sort and filter and see the visual breakdown of your costs, and bringing that to Rightsizing Explorer, it's really easy to see how that would help out so much, man. So thank you so much for working on this. Is there anything else you want to say to everybody on the line here before we say thanks and goodbye?
No, just get in there, have a look at TrueCost Explorer, give it a bit of a run, but also get other people that traditionally don't use these sorts of features in your organization, like your finance team, like your management. Get them on the seat to have a look at that feature. It's going to get them to appreciate, and if you're having challenges in resourcing, addressing these problems, that's how you get resources. Help them understand the size of the problem. So use it as much as possible. Give us any feedback you can on the feature, how we can improve it, any suggestions as well.
And also check out FinOps Fridays on YouTube, and also is posted onto to LinkedIn there, right?
Of course, and all the previous episodes are on YouTube. So if you want to learn more about FinOps Fridays, they're great discussions with experts across the field. Have a few laughs, relax, and learn.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Nate. We really appreciate your time, man, and thanks again for all your hard work and the work from your team. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Hunter.
All right, great. Thanks again, Nate, to you and your team for this excellent release and for the conversation today. Really appreciate your time. Quick screenshot here of the Rightsizing Explorer. As you can see, it's rolling up those right-sizing recommendations in the same format as the TrueCost Explorer, which also helps basically sort and filter data in a really easy visualization in a format that's, again, it's very accessible. really open, easy to understand. So really great release, and looking forward to helping our customers strategize the implementation of right-sizing recommendations via that interaction. All right, great. Well, that's our episode today. Again, my name's Hunter Willis. As always, you can find our product updates in the Help Center via Front Door if you're a customer. Once you log into the solution, it's via the Help widget in the upper right-hand corner. So go ahead and check out those details for each release by clicking on the What's New section in the documentation. And we really appreciate you watching today. So do like, share our content here. After the videos are recorded and streamed live on LinkedIn, they go over to YouTube, where there's some additional links, sometimes a little bit more additional information there. You can like and share the content from YouTube as well. We do appreciate your comments too, and try to answer any questions that you have. So leave comments in the areas below if you have anything that you want to comment on, or any questions that you have for all of the great folks here at Apptio. Again, we hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care and have a great week.